presentation here. So I think we can kick this off. My name is Maria Capobbianchi. I am a solutions engineer with D2L. I am very excited to be presenting in this year's virtual DevLearn event. Just to share a little bit about myself, I have spent 15 years in the consultative role, not just supporting organizations to bring in great technology that reflects their strategic visions, but what also serves their target audience really well. And that's exactly what this session will mostly be about. We have two main objectives that I'd like to cover in this session. The first will be to provide everyone with a look at D2L's learning platform and to share a bit about how we partner beyond just technology. As a note, I do have a few folks that will be monitoring the chat and Attentify, so please feel free to ask questions as we go along. We will also be monitoring the chat throughout the entire DevLearn event. So there's still a space to ask questions, even if you're catching this after the session or after we conclude. I think what we'll do first is just start with a little bit of an introduction of who D2L is for those who aren't familiar. Here at D2L, we have made it our mission to transform the way the world learns. And starting in education over 20 years ago, we continue to accomplish this mission by leveraging innovation and to make learning more relevant and engaging, which ultimately provides a more valuable and result-oriented learner experience. Now, we do this through our learning platform called Brightspace. As makers of Brightspace, we really have to stay in tune with the evolution of learning, right? And what the market is demanding. And of course, to those who deeply care about driving successful learning for their organization. The truth is the way people prefer to learn has changed. Old approaches to learning and to trainings and to development are just not always keeping people engaged enough to desire more. So we really believe in the value of learning and helping organizations of all shapes and sizes. So whether you are an association that is, catering to members, or a nonprofit organization that is serving their community, or even an organization that is guiding internal associates, we help to transform that learning with our platform while helping support all of your business strategic needs. With that, I think it's a good time to take a dive into Brightspace. For this part of our session, we will focus on three key areas. The first, we will take a look at the learner experience and how they can interact and engage with content as well as their peers. The second, we will showcase how easy and flexible it is to curate and create content in Brightspace. And then lastly, we'll briefly touch on analytics and how data can help support and continue learning decisions, as well as how you can use this data to then provide even more personalized experience to maintain that successful learning guide. So I'm going to go ahead and transition. And what I'm doing is I'm logging in here as Jared, and Jared is a learner. And what we've learned is that the learner experience is paramount. Learners are expecting to having a learning system that is intuitive, that is easy, and that is modern. And so Brightspace has done a very good job in doing that. So as a learner, I can easily come out here and I can take a look at all of the courses that I am enrolled in, and I can pin the ones that I'm actively engaged in. So we're gonna use this leadership course here as an example. So I'm gonna launch into this course, and it's gonna show a few things. It's gonna show the different types of topics that I'm going to walk through. But what we understand is that most organizations want to unlock their knowledge and turn that knowledge into core skills. But the thing is skill building isn't simply just, checking a box, I completed a course. What you need to start to think about is creating learning activities for learners to start to practice and to demonstrate mastery. And this is where that programmatic learning really becomes effective. So I would like to take you through this course together. We're going to first launch into the introductory page. And what you're going to notice right away is that the content is dominant on the page. Now, naturally, as a learner, I can toggle back and forth to my different topics, and I can jump back to the content if I want to. But we want to make sure that the content is up front and center. And so I can go through here and I can scroll, I can learn about the outcomes that I'm going to achieve along the way. Now, the next topic we're going to go through is a topic here that has a whole bunch of different types of activities. And the point of this particular example is that it's providing me some context on different types of leadership in this here example. And then it's giving me an opportunity to start interacting with the content. So I can click and I can learn. And I don't have to just read, I can start to engage and interact in a way that makes me make sure that this becomes durable and sticky as I go through it. Other types of ways you can incorporate engaging content is still kind of keeping the concept of providing context, but then maybe doing some quick knowledge checks. Did I understand what I just read? And now I can answer a question and I can check my answer. If I'm right, it'll give me great feedback. If I'm not quite on the right page, it might be able to guide me in understanding why I might not be on the right track. And then we can also gamify it a little bit. So now I can start to take what I've learned and maybe apply it in a interactive way. So I can start to maybe drag and drop. It can give me green as a sign that I am right on target, or maybe a yellow that says not quite, but almost. And so it gives me an opportunity to reset and go back. So these are just really great ways for learners to start to interact with the content beyond just reading. Another example that we often see is using flip tiles or maybe even hotspot scenarios. And so that can certainly be an option. But what we're hearing and what we're seeing is that video tends to be a really popular preference on how folks like to engage with content. So let's go through this video example. I'm gonna mute that. And so I don't know about any of you, but if you're like me, I often tend to get distracted. So if I can hear a ping from my phone or my email, I tend to look away. And so with these videos, what you can do is you can start to incorporate different thoughts. So I'm going to fast forward a little here, and it's going to pop up with a question, or allow me to start thinking differently on what I'm actually seeing. And then it's going to provide me with a question. And then I can answer that question. I can check my responses the same way, and I can continue on with my video. So this way, I'm not just letting the video go. I'm actually listening and paying attention, and what you're serving up is actually being consumed in the way that you intend it to be. Okay. I will also talk a little bit about the social element of learning. So we have content, we have engaging ways to interact, but then there's also that sense of networking and community that I think a lot of learners seek out and want. And so with our discussion forums, you can incorporate them into your structured course. And so there's lots of ways that you can use discussion forums. I mean, you can use it as a safe place to ask questions, a direct communication between learner and instructor or facilitator. And in this example, this is an open forum. It is asking a very specific targeted type of question. And as a learner, I can come out here and I can take a look at other people's response. I can see how Mary provided some, text on her thinking. I can see how Shirley incorporated a video, because for her, that was her way of giving her opinion. And if I want to come out here and participate, you'll notice that there's a couple of things. One, a very familiar editor, right? So if I'm comfortable composing an email, or I'm comfortable using Word, this is something that will be easy for me to adjust to, okay? I also have the opportunity to incorporate things like a picture or a link. And then we have this option called Video Note. And so I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. And what's nice about Video Note is that it gives an alternative option other than text. So I can open this up. My webcam opens up here. I can say, hello, everybody. My name's Maria. And this gives an opportunity for people who just prefer to use video as a way to express what they want. They can. I'm a busy mom of two. Sometimes I only get a small window of time, and I'd like to just record something, upload it later. The point is that you can sort of cater to different lifestyles and give them the option. Plus, it's always nice to put a face to the name, right? Keeping on the same lines of video, once learners start to show steps of mastery, once they start to show that they have gone through courses and that they have the ability to kind of retain certain skills, now it's starting to think about how do we want to provide meaningful feedback in a way that keeps them on track for success. And so we have this wonderful tool called video-based assignments. And so in this tool, you could have your instructor post a video of instructions, or you can type it out, whatever your preference might be. And then similar, I can come out here and I can either open up my web and I can project what my 2-minute thought of leadership is, or upload my video or any other file submission types. But what really becomes great is now I can start to interact with what my peers are doing, and they can do the same for me. So let me show you this example here. And hi, my name is Maria Capu. Great job, Maria, just because I want to give myself some encouragement. And so now you can notice that the video paused. So every time someone is providing feedback, it's timestamped throughout that video. And that can mean a lot. It can mean a lot to learners as they grow, or as they kind of develop and evolve in what they're trying to accomplish in terms of their skill set or their development. But it also is a great way to critique themselves and be able to kind of go back. And you can do all kinds of really creative things with this tool. So really great ways to incorporate that video element. So we talked about the learner experience. We've talked about some of the different ways you can interact, how we can use some social and video elements. Now let's talk a little bit about how we can use this from a designer perspective. So I am someone who has the ability to create content and develop courses. So I'm logging in as that role, and we're going to talk about content, and we're going to talk about progress. We understand content has to be easy to do. We do not want to have to feel like it's a challenge when we want to create something new or something special that we want to send to our learners. And so what we've designed is something called drag and drop technology, which is pretty popular, but it's great to be able to do that in technology. So if you have content that you want to bring in, you can see how that blue line is sort of following me with my document. If I just drop it, a couple seconds, there it is. And then I can continue to use drag and drop if I just, decide I want to move it around. Okay. We also have something called conditions. And this is really what sets us apart in our market, is because we have well over 3 dozen different ways that you can start to build different learning paths within a course. Not only can that help cater to particular user types, but it also caters to different people's learning styles. If they need a little extra content released, or if they, need to complete a certain topic before they get to the next module. Another area is around this upload and create. And so whether that's leveraging all the tools that are built right within the platform, so whether that's creating an assignment, a discussion, a survey, you can certainly incorporate those in to your course structure, and then bring in any other types of content. So whether that's video, whether that's a link that you want to embed, whether it's bringing in something from maybe OneDrive or Google Drive. And then we also have an authoring tool. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this up. Same exact type of editor. And the reason why we use this type of editor is for 2 big reasons. One is that it meets our accessibility standards. So there's an accessibility checker built right within this editing tool. And 2, it allows us to be 100% responsive, which I would imagine every user, whether you're a learner or instructor or designer, et cetera, would expect out of technology. You also have the same features where you can start to pull in your own content. You can do your own video. You can pull from the web. The web's a pretty powerful tool. It's got a lot of great things out there. But we also will support you with some templates. Now, these are standard templates that come along with our platform, and they were created via our Learning and Creative Services team, which we will talk about in just a moment. But what they do is they help to give you a starting point, right? So let's go ahead and pick this one here. And so I'm looking at this and I can say, all right, I'm not too crazy about this particular picture, so I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to bring something else in. Right? Or maybe I don't want this to say lecture. I want this to say overview. Maybe I don't want it to be red. Maybe I would like it to be blue. I can then embed my video that I want to serve up. I can provide more context, and then I can brand it and make it my own. And so this gives all authors within the tool a great way to have a consistent way of creating content, but it also gives learners a familiar sense of how their content's going to be served up. All right, so the last piece I want to talk about is progress. Because in the end, right, while we create content, learners go through the content, we want to make sure that we have really good data that can drive continued success. And so when we leverage data to optimize things like a learning experience, we often ask questions like, how long were learners in a content? How much did they embrace that content? What were the outcomes that they achieved, or what was their participation level? Tons of questions around data. So when you have built-in analytics that help to track and understand engagement and performance, it helps you to make really great decisions about your scale for training and development. And so in this particular dashboard, I have a couple different performance indicators that I have chosen to be displayed. We have several to choose from. All learners will have, you'll have access to all of those indicators within each learner. And so it gives me a great snapshot on what's going on. And then we can take that data along with a lot of the different events that are happening within the course, and we can start to use that and think about how we can personalize even more that experience. And so we have this great feature that allows you to launch very personalized automatic feedback based on certain criteria or conditions. And so, for example, sure, it could be, hey, welcome to the course, right? Or maybe it's these natural little nudges if we notice that they haven't logged in a couple of days. Or maybe it's even a personalized message around, hey, I understand that we didn't do so hot on this particular assignment. That's all right. Take a look at this content, give it another go. To even, hey, check out all these other courses. You did so great in this one. We recommend these 5 courses to take a look at. Right, so lots of really great ways that you can really help to personalize that experience. All right, so that was my demo portion for today's session. Now I'd like to circle back. I want to talk a little bit about some of our second objective, which is how we support our clients beyond technology. And I will tell you from a consultative perspective, just understanding the evolution of learning, it's more than just technology. It's more than just implementing a platform. It's understanding that we have to bring the vision of learning to life, and that is a team effort. And D2L is more than just a vendor. We want to be your partner in innovation. So our learning and creative services team, who actually created the content we just showed in this demo, by the way, focuses on providing and developing courses to make them interactive, to make them relevant and effective, so that we're ensuring that learners are not just engaged, but that they're motivated to continue learning. Our custom teams can do a lot of different things. They can do one-off sessions, they can do functional customizations to meet specific needs or workflows, or they can just work with you on designing very slick, intuitive pages. And they do that by leveraging all the tools that are in Brightspace. So sometimes the examples we see are, I have this course, I just want to uplift it. Or sometimes I just want to have a couple different engaging templates that I can use in all my different courses. Or maybe it's even building that flagship course that I want to start to mirror and copy and share across the entire platform. Now, bundled with this team is also our strategy consultants. And what they do is they provide our clients with overall learning strategy and making sure that our organization strategy is coming to life. Also change management, which is a big thing to consider anytime we're considering change, and communication support during that transition over to Brightspace. So this team brings a tremendous amount of insight and experience from working with various organizations, and they really can help support you every step of the way, from start all the way to launch. The second piece that I'd like to share with you is how we offer our clients the opportunity to be part of our D2L Champions program. Here at D2L, we want to celebrate our clients' successes. We want to help find them opportunities to showcase innovative work and provide a platform for them to share insight and best practices with their industry peers. So as a partner, we want to highlight our clients' accomplishments. We want to help position them as a leader in their own industry. Our team of advocacy managers, they will work closely with our clients to help them achieve recognition, not just within their own organization, but into their broader community. And it's really served our clients in more ways than we thought even possible. So it's just a really great opportunity. All right, so to recap, we did demonstrate Brightspace capabilities on how to easily curate, deliver, serve up visually appealing and engaging content, as well as we talked about some of those social tools that are built within Brightspace so learners can interact with their peers and their facilitators. And then we talked about the two most commonly leveraged support services, which was our learning and creative teams, as well as our client advocacy programs. I will just leave you with, as a learning company with over 20 years experience, our mission to transform learning has never wavered. We have created a technology that paves the way instead of getting in the way. And as your partner in learning, we really are here to help you succeed. So this concludes the session. I want to thank everyone who has attended or is going to take time to listen in. As always, feel free to continue to ask questions. If you would like a more personalized conversation, please reach out to jill.skeen@d2l.com. With that, I thank you and have a wonderful day.